Hey guys, there's a story in PC Mag, and it's about a director who works in AI safety at Meta. She connected OpenClaw to her main email account. She asked OpenClaw which emails should be archived and which ones should be deleted. But she said not to take any action until she approved it. She had a massive inbox, so the agent had to shorten its memory. So it forgot its original instructions and started to delete emails. She told it to stop several times, but eventually had to go to her Mac mini hosting and shut it down. More than 200 emails were deleted. In this case, the agent didn't suddenly become evil. It already had permission to delete emails. Once the instructions failed, the permissions is what actually caused the damage. The same problem could happen with Hermes, OpenClaw, or any other agent that has tools and has access to your accounts. So in this video, I'm going to share with you a few things that I'm doing to make Hermes useful without giving it access to everything. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Joe Armstrong, and I build online businesses that can run without me. I've been in the SEO and course space for over 10 years, and now I'm using AI to improve existing businesses and also build new businesses. And I'm sharing what I'm learning here on this channel. I'm not a security expert, but I did check with my Hermes agent before making this video. The idea is simple. Give the agent enough access to be able to do what it needs, and then if it needs more access, then it can prompt and ask you. Number one, scope the access. The first thing is to limit what each connector can reach. Google is a good example because one account can give access to Gmail, Calendar, Drive, Analytics, Search Console, YouTube, and a lot more. If Hermes is helping me organize video scripts, it may need access to Drive and Docs. That does not mean it needs access to my Gmail, contacts, and calendar. Google lets you control exactly what the agent can access. If Hermes only needs access to Drive and Docs, then only give it access to Drive and Docs. If it only needs to read those files, then give it read-only access. You can even limit Drive access to specific files instead of giving it access to your entire account. I checked my current Hermes setup. It has access to Drive and Docs, but currently cannot access Gmail. For example, maybe I'll want to tighten up the access to Drive and Docs. Or maybe I will want to give it read-only access to Gmail at some point. It just depends on what the use cases are. The rule is simple. Only give the agent the services, files, and actions that it needs. Number two, use viewer and read-only accounts. The second thing is to use viewer or read-only access when the job does not require any changes. I use Descript for editing my videos. I want Hermes to be able to read the transcripts of the videos, but I don't want Hermes to do any video editing yet. So I gave Hermes read-only access to Descript. So currently, Hermes connects to a real viewer-only account. This is much better than giving Hermes an editor account and then just telling it, please don't change anything. There's just too much room for error here. I use the same principle with Google Analytics. If it only needs read access, I'm going to give it the most basic access that will get the job done. And then if it needs more access, then I do it on a case-by-case basis. Email is even more sensitive. So currently, Hermes does not have any email access. I am likely going to change that in the future, but I'm going to start Hermes off with read-only access in that case. 3, limit and isolate the agent itself. I currently have Hermes installed on a VPS. That way, I know that everything has started off fresh and it doesn't have access to any files or any kind of access that I might not want it to have. That user is not an administrator, so it cannot make changes without my approval. 4, put a hard ceiling on spending. The next thing is to put a limit on how much the agent can spend. You could actually set it up so the agent has access to unlimited spending or whatever your credit limit is, and then just try to give it instructions. However, you're just opening up the possibilities for there to be some kind of error or mistake. Instead, you can limit the spending, put a hard limit on there, hard cap, so that way if the agent does something unexpected or any kind of miscommunication that happens, it's actually going to be stopped by a hard spending limit. Now, some credit cards have this available. I think Capital One has the virtual credit card number. I haven't used it myself, but I have heard of people using it. I started to use privacy.com, which is great because you can create these credit card numbers that are linked to your bank account. So you will pay for whatever limits you put on that credit card, but it's capped. So the reason why that's really useful for Hermes is because even if something goes wrong, then you have a maximum amount that you're going to spend. And that way you can control what the agent does and not have to worry about overspending. When I first started to use Hermes, I really did have some concerns. I just thought of all these cases where the agent went running wild on its own. I heard about all these situations and I said, okay, well, I want to avoid these at all costs. So I asked some friends who do these agent installations on a regular basis, and this is what they told me to do. And I have to say, after I've set up Hermes like this, I can really feel confident in the way that I use it. I know what it's doing, I know the access it has, and I know its limitations. And that way I could just do everything on a case-by-case basis. So if you're considering setting up Hermes and you're not really sure, this is a great way to start, and then you can just incrementally give it more access as you go.